Have you ever wondered how to become the best version of yourself in relationships? Deep down, most of us long for affection, respect, and genuine value from those around us. But achieving this isn't always straightforward. How do we earn true admiration, not for surface-level qualities or achievements, but for our authentic selves? Think of every relationship as an adventure, and imagine yourself as an explorer of your own inner world. Your quest is to uncover the hidden treasures within your soul, then share them with others. But to navigate this journey, you'll need a map, a path to understanding, connection, and ultimately, love. Today, let's explore this path through 9 ancient lessons from Stoic philosophy. These aren't just typical pieces of advice. They're insights to help you empower yourself in ways you may not have imagined, guiding you toward love and meaningful relationships built on mutual respect and inner strength. Lesson 1. Understanding your true worth. How does Stoicism relate to understanding your value in relationships? The Stoics taught that we should focus on what we can control, and your self-worth is entirely within your control. Your value isn't about how many likes you get on social media or whether others find you attractive. It's about how you see and appreciate yourself. Picture yourself as a rare gemstone. Not everyone will recognize its worth, but that doesn't diminish its value. It remains precious, rare, and unique. You are that gemstone. Your worth doesn't decrease just because someone fails to see it. Most of us have faced rejection and moments of feeling inadequate, especially in a world where everyone seems to be thriving. But a Stoic perspective reminds us that our worth doesn't hinge on anyone else's validation. Instead, it's about our actions, principles, and integrity. Are you compassionate, truthful? Do you live in alignment with your values? This is where your true value lies. The Stoics emphasize self-reflection, encouraging us to look beyond the obvious qualities we may admire in ourselves. Consider the deeper aspects of your character, qualities that are enduring, not fleeting. When you understand and appreciate these traits, you discover an inner strength. Remember, understanding your worth isn't a one-time revelation, it's a lifelong journey. Every day, acknowledge that your value is inherent, not based on others' opinions, but rooted in who you truly are. Lesson 2. Presenting yourself with dignity. Before you imagine dignity as an intimidating, grandiose concept, know that in Stoic philosophy, dignity simply means self-respect and poise. It's about embodying an inner calm and groundedness, regardless of how others perceive you. When you carry yourself with dignity, you reflect an inner peace that draws respect from others without needing to seek it. In relationships, presenting yourself with dignity means setting boundaries, honoring your values, and standing by your principles. It's about engaging from a place of inner strength rather than insecurity. By doing so, you signal to others and to yourself that you respect who you are. This makes your relationships healthier, as you're building them on a foundation of mutual respect and authenticity rather than neediness or fear. When you picture a Stoic, you might imagine a stern, unfeeling figure from ancient times. But let's set the record straight. Stoicism isn't about suppressing emotions or being indifferent. It's about understanding what truly deserves your energy, and presenting yourself with dignity is one of those things. In relationships, have you noticed how we sometimes bend over backward to impress others, even to the point of losing sight of who we really are? We change how we speak, dress, or act, hoping for approval. But here's the key insight from Stoicism. Your self-respect isn't defined by clothing, style, or trendy places. It's rooted in how you present yourself, the choices you make, and the principles you stand by. Picture this. You're observing 2 students giving presentations. One tries to dazzle the audience with flashy words and gestures, while the other speaks simply and confidently, without any pretense. Which one leaves a lasting impression? More often than not, it's the one who's genuine and comfortable in their own skin. This captures the Stoic lesson of dignity. Real self-respect isn't about putting on a show, it's about authenticity. The Stoics, known for their philosophy of self-control and integrity, emphasized the importance of honesty and respect for oneself. So how does this apply to dating? It's simple. Be authentically yourself. If you're passionate about books, embrace it. If you have unique interests, let them shine. Don't feel the need to change who you are for approval. True confidence is about feeling comfortable in your own skin and recognizing that you're valuable just as you are. Here's another important point. The way you treat yourself sets the standard for how others will treat you. Constantly criticizing yourself sends the message that it's acceptable for others to do the same. But when you respect yourself, valuing your time, energy, and emotions, you make a powerful statement. I deserve respect, and I expect to be treated accordingly. Consider what the Stoic philosopher Epictetus said. It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters. In relationships, it's not just about your appearance or words. It's about how you respond and carry yourself in different situations. Do you act with dignity or desperation? Are you sacrificing your values to fit in? Or are you staying true to yourself, even if it means standing alone? You don't need to be perfect. We all have awkward moments. What matters is how you handle those moments, whether you learn from them and move forward with strength. Let's take a moment to reflect. How can you start showing yourself more dignity? Maybe it's about setting clear boundaries or declining things that don't align with your values. It could also mean treating yourself with compassion and respect. When you see yourself as worthy of respect, others will begin to see it too. Lesson 3. The power of non-verbal communication. Now, this might sound a bit traditional, but hear me out. Respecting yourself and recognizing your worth also means understanding how to communicate without words. Stoicism teaches self-control and resilience, not in a rigid way, but as a path to focus on what truly matters. In a world that constantly demands attention, Stoic principles offer a refreshing perspective. Think about relationships or meeting new people. There's often a rush to share everything, your time, space, and even deepest feelings. But the Stoic approach encourages taking a step back. Why? Because when something is always available, it tends to lose its value. Humans are drawn to what's unique and carefully shared. If you're always there whenever someone needs you, where's the excitement, the mystery, the sense of anticipation? Let's talk about setting boundaries with grace, the Stoic way. First, it starts with appearance. Dressing stylishly but modestly isn't just about looks, it's a statement. It says, I respect myself. You're not hiding who you are, but you're also not revealing everything right away. It's about finding a balance that says, there's more to me than meets the eye. Another crucial aspect is managing your time and attention. In today's hyper-connected world, being mindful of who gets your time is a powerful choice. It's not about playing games, it's about affirming, my time is valuable and I prioritize it wisely. When you're with someone, be fully engaged. But when you're not, it's perfectly okay to focus on your own life, interests and growth. Stoicism also champions emotional self-mastery. This doesn't mean being cold or disconnected. Rather, it's about staying calm and balanced. It's about not letting small things disrupt your peace. You don't need to give your emotional energy to everyone. That energy is something others should earn, much like your time and attention. This isn't about becoming distant or detached. We're all human, and genuine connection is essential for a fulfilling life. But there's something powerful about pacing yourself, about forming connections that are grounded in more than immediate gratification. True, meaningful relationships have depth and durability, going beyond instant access or quick fixes. It's also important to understand that setting boundaries isn't about manipulation or control. It's about respecting yourself and staying true to your values. It's about showing, through actions as much as words, that you value yourself and deserve to be treated with respect. So here's to a more selective, composed approach to relationships. Finding that balance between openness and discernment influences not only how others see you, but how they treat you. Here's to valuing ourselves and embracing a touch of Stoicism in today's dating scene. Lesson 4. The power of letting go. Letting go doesn't mean turning your back coldly or indifferently. Rather, it's about understanding what we can change and what we cannot. One of the most empowering decisions we can make is knowing when to stay and when to walk away from situations that don't serve our well-being. This is especially relevant in relationships. We've all been there, staying in places where we know we deserve better, yet holding on, whether due to a fear of loneliness, the comfort of the familiar, or hope that things will change. But this is where Stoicism offers us invaluable guidance. True strength comes from recognizing that we have the power to choose. We can either remain in situations that compromise our principles, or we can choose a different path, one that aligns with our sense of self-worth. Now let's be clear, this doesn't mean giving up the moment a relationship faces difficulty. Relationships require patience, understanding, and commitment. However, Stoicism teaches us to recognize our core values and self-worth so clearly that if something fundamentally goes against them, we can walk away with peace and confidence. It's about nurturing that inner resilience and courage that says, I respect myself too much to accept anything less than what I deserve. Let's dive deeper into this idea. Being ready to leave isn't about making dramatic exits or ending things impulsively. It's about respecting yourself enough to hold true to what you believe in. Sometimes it's a quiet decision, a calm realization that this isn't right for you. Yes, it's normal to feel apprehensive about the unknown future. It's part of the human experience. But consider how Stoic thinkers faced uncertainties with courage. They taught us that life's uncertainties are simply challenges to be met with bravery. When you're in a relationship, and you know that you're staying because it aligns with your values, and not because you're afraid to leave, it shifts everything. You're not staying out of desperation or fear. You're there out of genuine choice. When you take that brave step to let go of things that no longer serve you, you make space for things that do. It's like decluttering the past to invite the future. Trust that there are better things waiting for you when you give yourself the chance to find them. Remember, letting go isn't about becoming detached or cold-hearted. It's about respecting yourself enough to say, I deserve something better. It's about practicing Stoicism in the face of challenges, understanding that your value isn't dependent on others. Lesson 5. Setting boundaries in action. One of the most profound lessons Stoicism offers is the emphasis on actions over words. Stoics believed that true strength lies in demonstrating beliefs through actions rather than merely stating them. This principle is particularly relevant when it comes to setting boundaries in relationships. It's one thing to talk about your boundaries, but showing them through consistent actions is where true self-respect shines. Consider this. It's easy to say, I won't accept mistreatment, but the real challenge comes when you actually encounter such behavior. Do you hold firm to your boundary, or do you let it slide? That's where true strength lies, not in what we say, but in what we do. It's understandable that holding boundaries can be difficult, especially in relationships where emotions run high. But let's recall the wisdom of the Stoics. We can't control others' actions, but we can control our own responses. If someone oversteps a boundary, your response, more than your words, will establish and reinforce that boundary. Imagine a situation where honesty is deeply important to you, yet someone in your life chooses to be deceitful. How you respond shows how seriously you take your boundaries. Whether you choose to address the issue calmly or take a step back, your actions convey your commitment to your values. It's not about stirring up conflict. It's about showing self-respect by reacting in alignment with what you believe. This approach can make a real difference in relationships. When others see that you hold and enforce clear boundaries, they come to understand what you will and won't accept. It's a way to nurture self-respect and stay true to it. This isn't only about handling big events either. Our boundaries are often tested in small, everyday moments. Think about it. How do you react when plans change abruptly or when someone takes you for granted? Do you simply brush it off, or do you calmly express that such behavior is not okay? This is where the Stoic practice of mindfulness comes into play. By paying attention to the present moment, you can notice how these little actions and reactions contribute to upholding your boundaries and staying authentic to yourself. Let's try to embody a touch of Stoicism in expressing our boundaries. It's not about stubbornly holding on to an idea, but about having an inner compass guiding your actions and responses. And believe me, when you approach boundaries this way, people notice. They start to see you as someone who values themselves and respects their own limits. Lesson 6. Actions speak louder than words. Stoicism teaches us that practical wisdom lies in judging people by their actions, not just their words. In relationships, it's easy to be charmed by sweet words or ideal promises. But Stoic philosophy reminds us to look beyond words to what truly matters: actions. We've all been in situations where someone says the right things but fails to follow through. Maybe they promise to call and don't, or make plans only to cancel last minute. In such times, our inner Stoic mindset helps us step back and evaluate the situation logically. When someone's actions don't align with their words, it's a signal that something isn't right. This approach shifts how we handle relationships. Instead of being swept away by nice words and empty promises, we start noticing the details: how they behave under pressure, whether they keep their commitments, or if they're present in meaningful ways. Observing actions over words helps us set a standard. We signal, "I'm not just listening to what you say, I'm watching what you do." This has a profound effect, as it shows others they can't merely talk their way into your life. They must prove their intentions through action. This isn't about being cynical or doubting everyone. It's about being wise and realistic, using a Stoic perspective to protect your heart. Stoicism encourages us not to be overly swayed by words or let emotions cloud our judgment. Instead, it asks us to stay grounded, observe reality, and respond thoughtfully. So let's remind ourselves to pay attention to actions, not just words. Approaching relationships with a Stoic mindset can help us see things clearly, allowing us to build connections based on integrity rather than empty promises. After all, actions carry more weight than words. Lesson 7. Cultivating healthy expectations. Another valuable Stoic insight in relationships is the art of setting healthy expectations. In today's world, it's easy to expect perfection from others, or to place undue pressure on a relationship to fulfill every need. Stoicism, however, reminds us that everyone has flaws, and that expecting constant happiness or idealized love can lead to disappointment. Stoics encourage us to accept the world and people as they are. This doesn't mean settling or lowering standards. Rather, it's about recognizing that no one is perfect, and relationships, like people, require patience, acceptance, and flexibility. When we let go of perfectionism and allow room for imperfections, we free ourselves from unrealistic expectations. We become more understanding partners, capable of seeing others as human beings with strengths and weaknesses. This perspective fosters empathy and allows relationships to grow in a healthy, realistic way. In practice, this might mean accepting that your partner won't always agree with you or that disagreements are natural. Instead of holding grudges or expecting them to meet all your needs, recognize that true happiness and contentment come from within. Lesson 8. Finding balance in independence and togetherness. A final Stoic lesson is finding balance between independence and togetherness. Stoicism values self-sufficiency, encouraging us to cultivate inner strength and peace without becoming overly dependent on others. In relationships, this translates to maintaining a sense of independence and inner fulfillment, even while building strong connections. Having your own interests, hobbies, and goals not only enriches your life but also strengthens your relationship. When each person brings a fulfilled whole self into a partnership, it fosters a connection based on mutual respect and shared growth, rather than reliance or dependency. Cultivating this balance takes time, but it's about recognizing that your happiness isn't solely reliant on someone else. Instead, it's a combination of inner fulfillment and shared experiences. This Stoic approach fosters healthier, more resilient relationships, where both partners grow together without losing themselves. In the end, Stoicism offers a toolkit for approaching relationships with strength, clarity, and wisdom. Embracing these principles can transform how you connect with others, helping you build relationships that honor your values, boundaries, and worth. Lesson 7. The wisdom of skepticism. Skepticism and Stoicism are deeply intertwined. Stoics believed in perceiving situations as they truly are, rather than as we wish them to be. This approach is particularly valuable in love and dating. We've all experienced those moments when someone says all the right things, and we're tempted to believe them wholeheartedly, despite possible warning signs. This is where a Stoic mindset can be profoundly beneficial. Cultivating a healthy degree of skepticism is like a superpower. It doesn't mean being distrustful or pessimistic. Rather, it's about staying realistic, grounded, and thoughtful. Imagine this scenario. You meet someone new, and they seem fantastic, saying lovely things and even talking about a future together. But it's only been a short time. Here, your Stoic skepticism would encourage you to pace yourself. Wait and see if their actions align with their words, and observe how things unfold. It's a gentle reminder to stay mindful, ensuring that you don't get swept away by emotions alone. This skepticism doesn't involve interrogating the other person or doubting their every move. Instead, it's about being thoughtful and observant. Listen not just to their words, but to their actions. True Stoic skepticism involves taking the time to understand someone's character, consistency, and genuineness. The Stoics emphasized using logic and reason rather than letting emotions dictate our actions, and this is especially crucial in relationships. When emotions dominate, we can easily overlook important details. But when we combine our feelings with a dose of skepticism and logic, we're better equipped to see things clearly. And here's an essential benefit. Skepticism serves to protect your heart. By maintaining a bit of critical distance, you're not diving into something blindly. Instead, you're allowing yourself time to grasp the true nature of the other person, rather than projecting your own desires onto them. Let's embrace the importance of Stoic skepticism. It's about being thoughtful, attentive, and not letting emotions carry us away. It's about protecting ourselves and our well-being, not shutting ourselves off, but approaching relationships with wisdom and careful consideration. Lesson 8. Saying no with confidence. A core tenet of Stoicism is having the courage to stand by your values. In relationships, this means being brave enough to say no when necessary. Sticking to your beliefs, even when it causes discomfort or disruption, is essential for self-respect. Imagine you're in a relationship and your partner proposes something that doesn't sit well with you, maybe moving too quickly or asking you to compromise your values. The easier choice might be to go along with it to avoid conflict, but this is where Stoic wisdom steps in. Saying no in these moments is about valuing your beliefs and limits. Let's be real, this isn't easy. That inner voice might whisper, what if saying no pushes them away? But here's where we summon our courage. Stoicism isn't just about external challenges, it's about confronting our internal struggles too. Saying no is a declaration of self-respect, signaling that you won't accept less than what aligns with your values. Yes, saying no comes with risks. You might lose someone by setting that boundary. However, if standing firm on your values drives someone away, perhaps they weren't the right match to begin with. This approach transforms relationships. When someone realizes you're unafraid to say no and won't compromise your beliefs to please them, it changes how they view you. It shows that you value yourself, a quality that's incredibly appealing. Saying no isn't just about setting boundaries with others, it's also about being honest with yourself. Recognize what you genuinely want and need in a relationship, and honor it. Don't let fear of loneliness push you into decisions that aren't aligned with your true self. Let's affirm that saying no is not only acceptable but essential. It's about staying authentic and living with integrity, nurturing relationships founded on respect rather than fear or concession. Lesson 9. Never chase, always value. This lesson ties together everything we've discussed, viewed through a Stoic lens. Stoicism teaches us to focus on what we can control and let go of what we cannot. In relationships, this means understanding that pursuing someone who is moving away not only wastes our energy, but also contradicts our own self-worth. Imagine you're dating someone and things seem great at first, but then they begin to pull away. The instinctive reaction, one we've all felt, is to run after them, trying to bridge the gap. But here's where Stoicism offers valuable guidance. Why chase something that isn't in your control? The Stoics would urge you to step back and reflect. Chasing after someone who is retreating only diminishes your dignity, self-worth, and peace of mind. The Stoic approach encourages you to stand firm in your own value. If someone chooses to move away, let them go. This isn't about being cold. It's about realizing that you can't control others' actions or feelings. What you can control is your response. Yes, it takes considerable inner strength to resist the urge to chase, but by doing so, you affirm your own self-respect. If someone truly values you, they'll show it through their actions. By refusing to let someone else's behavior dictate your worth, you're taking control of your emotional health. This mindset shifts the dynamic entirely, putting the power back in your hands. You're no longer subject to someone else's unpredictable actions. You're in charge of how you feel and how you respond. Here's the kicker. When you stop chasing others and start investing in yourself, your growth, your passions, amazing things happen. You naturally attract people who are drawn to your strength, confidence, and self-worth. It's as if you're broadcasting a message that says, "I know my value and I won't compromise it." So let's internalize this lesson. Let's reaffirm that we never need to chase after anyone. Adopting a Stoic mindset in relationships means staying composed, self-respecting, and focused on what we can manage. It's about finding peace within ourselves rather than seeking it from others. Conclusion: embracing your Stoic journey. As we reach the end of this conversation, hold on to something deeply important. Your self-worth is like a bright thread that weaves through every aspect of life, giving it color and strength. Just as the Stoics believed, you have the power to decide how you respond to the world around you. Remember, you are in control of your own honor and self-respect. Embrace your inner strength. Let your actions, choices, and boundaries reflect the amazing person you are. If you ever doubt yourself, recall this moment and the Stoic principles we've explored together. Life is not just something you endure. It's a journey of growth, resilience, and wisdom. Each day is an opportunity to become a stronger, wiser version of yourself. If you found value in our discussion today, why not continue exploring? Take a look at our playlist displayed on the screen. It's filled with more insights, stories, and tips to help you navigate life with wisdom and confidence. Go ahead, click on it, and let's keep moving forward together on this journey. Thank you for joining me today. Always remember, you're not alone in this journey. We're all figuring it out, one step and one day at a time. Until our next chat, Take care, stay wise, and continue to embrace your inner strength.